Good morning everyone. This half term we're focusing on the value of kindness, and this week our value is I show kindness by being helpful to others. As we know, by being kind we can make things a bit better for other people and also for ourselves. I'm going to read a story about how things can be made better when people help each other. It's called The King's Greedy Brothers. There was once a king who was just and kind and honest. He ruled his land fairly. The kingdom was peaceful, prosperous and happy. The king had just one problem: his brothers. These two men were cruel, selfish and mean, but above all greedy. At royal parties they would push, poke and barge their way into the front of the queue for the buffet. Then they would gorge themselves, eating and drinking until they could hardly move. One day, the king decided to do something about these two awful brothers of his. In the middle of the night, the royal guards woke the brothers and marched them downstairs into a small dark room that they had never seen before. Inside the room was a table. On the table was every kind of food that you could imagine. There were pies and puddings, cakes and crumbles, buns and breads, roasts and rolls, tarts and trifles, and dish upon dish of tasty things. Standing next to this table, heaving with goodies, was the king, looking very stern. The king commanded his brothers that they must eat the food that the royal kitchens had prepared for them, but that they must follow two important rules when doing so. The brothers looked at each other, and then at the king, and then at the food, their mouths watering. Rule number 1, the king went on, you must only eat the food using the spoons I give you. Rule number 2, you must only hold the spoon by the very end of its handle. Break either of these rules and you will be thrown into the dungeon. The king then walked out of the room, locking the door behind him. The two greedy brothers rushed forward to grab the very long-handled spoons, pushing each other out of the way. The spoons had such long handles that however much they pushed, shoved and criticised each other, the two brothers were unable to eat even one crumb of the delicious food. It was only after 3 days of trying, when they were weak with hunger and half mad with frustration, that they came up with the idea of helping each other. Only by cooperating, taking turns and carefully feeding each other were they able to get any food at all. The next day, the king opened the doors of the brothers' room and found two very different men inside. They had learned how to be kind and think of others, how not to be selfish, and how to work as a team. So that story tells us that how being helpful makes life better for others and for you too. You feel good about yourself, and others might be more likely to help you sometime. One good turn deserves another. So let's think of some ways that we can be helpful. There are lots, so here are just a few examples. You could help somebody pick something up. You could hold the door open for someone. You could help out with the washing up. You could help someone to carry something. You can donate things that you don't want anymore to a charity shop. You can help tidy up. We did this on Friday. You can help raise money for a charity. And important at the moment is to help everybody by following coronavirus guidance, such as washing your hands. So I'm sure you'll find lots of opportunities to help others, and remember, by doing so you'll be making a difference and making the world a better place. You can be kind by helping others.